number 8, motions and bills.
Honorable members, as you may recall, it was communicated by the leader of the majority party yesterday, that is on 5th November 2024, that the House Business Committee had scheduled a sitting of the Committee on General Oversight today at 2:30 p.m. That is pursuant to Standing Order 32 and 98 for the County Executive Committee member for Finance, Economic Planning and ICT to make pronouncements on the revenue-raising measures and the Finance Bill 2024. This sitting having been properly convened by the House Business Committee for that purpose, I now direct that the House does break into the Committee on General Oversight by the Sergeant at Arms, lowering the mace to the lower pedestal, and further direct the chairperson of the Finance, Economic Planning and ICT Committee, and the chairperson of Budget and Appropriation Committee to usher in the County Executive Committee member for Finance, Economic Planning and ICT into the chambers. Welcome, Madam. Honorable members, I take this opportunity to welcome you all to the Assembly's Committee on General Oversight. I also wish to take this opportunity to, on behalf of the entire Assembly fraternity and myself, accord a warm welcome to the County Executive Committee member for Finance, Economic Planning and ICT, together with her delegation. This sitting is convened pursuant to the provisions of standing orders, and that is fulfillment of the requirements of the Public Finance Management Act, that is 2012. The statutory provision for the pronouncement of the highlights on the budget estimates are indeed a great milestone in the development of our Assembly practices and procedures, particularly in the matters of county budgeting and planning. Honorable members, pursuant to Article 198 of our standing orders, the County Executive Committee member responsible for matters of finance is required to appear before the Committee on General Oversight to make pronouncements on revenue-raising measures and submit to the Assembly the County Finance Bill, setting out revenue-raising measures for the county government, together with a policy statement expounding on those measures. Honorable members, that is Section 132 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 provides that, number one, Each financial year, the county executive member for finance shall, with the approval of the county executive committee, make a pronouncement of the revenue-raising measures for the county government. Number 2, the county executive committee member for finance shall, on the same date that the revenue-raising measures are pronounced, submit to the county assembly the county finance bill, setting out the revenue-raising measures for the county finance bill for the county government, together with policy statement expounding on those measures. Honorable members, we look forward to the pronouncement by the CEC member on matters of finance and believe that it shall be comprehensively aligned itself to our expectations as the representatives of the people of Nyandarua County. These expectations have previously been clearly articulated by the various resolutions that have been passed by the Assembly. Madam, the honorable members will be expecting to hear the following from you in regards to the revenue-raising measures and matters incidental thereto. That is number 1, conformity of the revenue-raising measures and the finance bill to the provisions of Section 132 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which requires the revenue-raising measures and, in particular, the finance bill. A, ensure that total amount of revenue raised is consistent with the approved fiscal framework and the County Allocation of Revenue Act. B, take into account the principle of equity, certainty, and ease of collection. C, considers the impact of the proposed changes on the composition of tax revenue with reference to direct and indirect taxes. D, considers the domestic, regional, and international tax trends. E, considers the impact on development, investment, employment, and economic growth. And F, taking tariff aggregation that Kenya has ratified, including taxation and tariff agreements under the East African Community Treaty. Number 2, a general outlook of the performance in revenue collection in the last 2 years, especially per revenue stream. Number 3, a 2-year outlook of the performance in revenue collection per department. The revenue stream part 5 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which should contain all waivers and variations of taxes, fees, or change charges granted by the receiver of revenue in the last 1 year. Honorable members, the CEC will be addressed to the Sectoral Committee Finance, Economic Planning, and ICT as it considers the finance bill. Accordingly, therefore, it is now my pleasure to invite the County Executive Committee Member for Finance, Economic Planning, and ICT, Executive Committee Member for Finance, Economic Planning, and ICT to address this committee. Welcome, Madam.
Honorable Speaker, and honorable members of Nyandarua County Assembly, pronouncement on revenue-raising measures, underpinning the Finance Bill 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, Article 175B of the Kenya Constitution states that the county government shall have reliable sources of revenue to enable them to govern and deliver services effectively. Section 132 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 stipulates that the Executive Committee member for Finance shall, with the approval of revenue-raising measures for the county government, and on the same date that revenue measures are pronounced, to submit the county finance bill to the county assembly. Section 133 of the PFM further states that not later than 90 days after this bill, with or without amendments. Mr. Speaker, sir, the county own source revenue has made great paces since the initiation initiation of the devolution amid with challenges among hyperinflation, increased taxation at the national level, high cost of fuel and depreciating shilling against major currencies. This has slowed down economic activities in county, which is tangled with the national economy performance. The performance of own source revenue since the regulation of county government is as follows. For the financial year 2013-2014, the revenue performance was 138,349,81. 2014 to 2015, 240,629,472. 2015 to 2016, 281,941,469. 2016 to 2017, 300,091,263. 2017-2018, 318,589,599. 2018-2019 was at 403,402,551. 2019-2020 was at 379,480,630 million. 2020 to 2021, 408,718,259 million. 2021 and 2022, 473,61,809 million. 2022-2023 was at 505,913,306, and 2023-2024 was at 515,740,772 million. In 2023-2024 financial year, 515.7 million was collected from own source revenue. This was an increase of 2% as compared to 2022-2023 financial year. This was the best record made since the inception of the county governments. Mr. Speaker, sir, revenue mobilization is a combined effort for all departments and key stakeholders. The summary comparative report for 2022-2023 financial year and 2023-2024 is as follows. The Department for Health Services for the financial year 2022-2023 was at 196,66,312. For the financial year 2023 was an increase of 205,746,307, which they had a 5% increase as compared to the previous year. Water, environment, tourism, and natural resources was at 1.604,171 for the financial year 2022-2023, and for the financial 2023-2024 was at 4,632,475, an increase of 189%. Public administration for the financial year 2022-2023 was at 1,099,380, and the following year, the financial year 2023-2024, 1,564,690, which is an increase of 42%. Land, housing, and physical planning, 38,069,152. Financial year 2023-2024 was at 49,856,992, which was also an increase of 31%. Road, transport, and infrastructure collected 48,791,88 for the financial year 2022-2023, and the following year for 2023-2024 was at 48,966,898. Therefore, no increase, was at 0% increase. Trade, industrialization, and cooperatives, financial year 2022-2023 was at 116,234,325 million. For the financial year 2023-2024, it was at 96,768,297, a decrease of 17%. Education, culture, gender, and social services, financial year 2022-2023 was at 38,841,549. The following year, the financial year 2023-2024, was at 14,218,719, a decrease of 59%. Agriculture, livestock and fisheries, in the financial year 2022-2023, they collected 66,914,63. In the following year, 2023-2024, they collected 84,762,805, an increase of 27%. And other sources, which was the direct banking, for the financial year, we collected 2,293,263, and the following year, financial year 2023-2024, was at 9,223,588, which brings us to the total of financial year 2022-2023 was at 505,913,305, and financial year 2023-2024 was at 515,740,772, which was a 2% increase. Water, Public Administration, Land and Agriculture departments recorded substantial increase in revenue generation as compared to previous year. Trade and Education departments recorded a decrease. The decline was noted in single business and liquor licenses, respectively. The detailed comparative revenue performance report per revenue stream for financial year 2022-2023 and financial year 2023-2024 is attached as Annexure 1. Mr. Speaker, sir, the global shocks such as the conflict between Israel and Palestine has affected horticulture industry, with several farms domiciled in Nyandarua affect negatively cess collection in the county. This demonstrates the interconnectivity of the county to the global village and the vulnerability thereon. Similarly, heavy rain witnessed in many parts of the country caused low productivity, especially in potato industry, among others. Mr. Speaker, sir, the county treasury notes with concern that the county own source revenue contributes less than 8% of the entire county resource envelope. This is synonymous with most other county governments. County revenue raising measures therefore call for concerted efforts among all stakeholders in weaning off the county from overdependence on the national government and develop partners in the realization of the administration agenda on change and agenda for socio-economic development and wealth creation. Mr. Speaker, sir, Kenya recently witnessed unprecedented nationwide protests in defiance of the government proposed tax increases and also elicited police brutality. These protests were led by the Generation Z, popularly referred to as the Gen Z, who used social media to mobilize against the Kenya Finance Bill 2024. During public participation conducted in 25 wards, the Gen Z's spirit of rejecting Nyandarua County Finance Bill 2024 was very fresh on the ground. Business communities and other stakeholders demanded for lower fees and charges. Mr. Speaker, sir, understandings from the business community and general public were that many businesses were facing harsh economic environments. The major entreaty from the public to the county government was to revert to the charges as contained in the Nyandarua County Finance 2023. The appeal was considered as it was unvaryingly enumerated in many forums during public participation in the county. Mr. Speaker, Nyandarua government projects to raise 850 million in the 2024-2025 financial year from own source revenue to meet county budget's expenditure. The facility improvement funds, which is under implementation process, will raise 250 million, while the balance of 600 million will be raised from other sources, including other devolved functions. The County Treasury proposes to embrace the following revenue-raising measures in meeting the planned revenue target. 1. County revenue mapping. Mr. Speaker, sir, the County Treasury is cognizant of evidence-based planning. As such, the County Treasury, through the County Internship Program, intends to complete comprehensive revenue mapping across the county. Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, this will give the county the required data to be integrated with the county revenue system, which will advantage the county with data analytics that will be critical in development of revenue models in the county and seal revenue leakages. The mapping is GIS-based to give real data. Number 2, updating the county valuation role. Mr. Speaker, sir, the current valuation role in use by the county government dates to 1982, and as such, the valuation role is outdated and has little impetus on county land rates. It is ignorant of the great county infrastructure development and the positioning of the county as a major corridor for investment in the county. As such, the valuation role kicked off and staff from the national government were engaged to spearhead the process. The land department were requested to fast-track the process to ensure the county government will reap from the low-hanging fruits. Mr. Speaker, sir, land rates waivers were approved by county executive members to go in hand with valuation role. The exercise is ongoing. This will entice large number of landowners to clear the principal arrears before new charges will be implemented. Mr. Speaker, sir, further, the County Treasury and the Department of Lands, Housing and Physical Planning are in the process of developing a county property management information system, and the system will be instrumental in the automation of subdivision, physical plans approval, and land rates payments. This will be integral in sealing loopholes associated with manual systems and bolstering enforcement. If implemented, land rates and other fees are expected to increase tenfold. Number 3, unpaid revenue in 2023-2024 financial year. Mr. Speaker, sir, the county witnessed some uncollected revenue in the financial year 2023-2024. These were contributed by absence of necessary provisions of regulation and court orders. Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, the county government, through the Office of the County Attorney, resolved court cases. Within a period of 60 days, unpaid business licenses will be cleared. Mr. Speaker, sir, I humbly request this House to embrace necessary measures to ensure fees emitting from liquor license will be received before the closure of the calendar year. The approval of necessary liquor committee rests on honorable members in this House. Mr. Speaker, sir, Nyandarua County Government is owed 60.2 million by national government in respect of contribution of lieu of rates, which is the SILO. The County Treasury wrote to the National Treasury demanding this remittance to the county. Mr. Speaker, Finance Bill 2024 has been done in line with provisions of Article 201 of the Constitution of Kenya, which stipulates that fairness and equity, among others, shall guide all aspects of public finance. Some revenue projected to be generated, including unpaid fees and charges, are as follows. Number 1, unpaid fees from business permits for financial year 2024, which is the calendar year, and the description is unpaid business license fees from 11,000 businesses, which will give us a projected revenue of 35 million. Number 2, unpaid liquor licenses for 2024 calendar year. That is the unpaid liquor license from at least 980 traders licensed in 2023 calendar year, which will also give us a projected revenue of 33 million. The valuation role, which is number 3, is new charges for land and plot rates after recommendation from the evaluation role exercise, which will give us a projected revenue of 30 million. Contribution in lieu of rates, that is number 4, SILO, is unpaid contribution in lieu of rates, Nyandarua County Council at 51,377,330. Olkalau County Council 8,773,316, which will also give us a projected revenue of 60.2 million. Number 4, management and administration of the existing revenue sources. Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, to improve on the amount collected from the existing sources, a raft of measures will be put in place to yield more revenue. This includes 1, the establishment of Nyandarua County Revenue Board. This is a progress and it is in its final stages. 2, full rollout of cashless revenue collection and adopting the best practices in revenue collection automation. Number 3, enacting supporting legislation and regulations on revenue collection and administration. Number 4, migrating from LIFOM to new property management system. And 5, regular audits of revenue systems to seal leakages and inefficiencies. And 6, mitigate all political and other interferences in revenue mobilization from all aspects. Number 5, revenue targets to departments. Mr. Speaker, sir, 4th schedule of the Constitution of Kenya clearly stipulates the functions that fall under the county government. The departments implementing the devolved functions are mandated to collect any revenue for the services they provide where applicable. Mr. Speaker, sir, the CCMs and chief officers in the respective county departments are holding monthly table meetings chaired by His Excellency the Governor, and the round table meetings are concerned to department revenue performance. This will further be instituted through performance contracting. To further enhance this, department revenue targets were pronounced as follows. The health services, which is the FIF, the target for the financial year 2024-2025 is 250 million. Water, environment, climate change and natural resources, 7,666 million. Youth, empowerment and arts, 10,500 million. Public service, administration and devolution, 8,350. Lands, physical planning and urban development, 145,809,400. Public works, road, transport, housing and energy, 114,871,600. Tourism, cooperatives, development, trade and industrialization and development, 150,300 million. Education, children, gender affairs, culture and social services, 46,107,500. Agriculture, livestock and fisheries, 116,395,500 million, which will give us a grand total of 850 million. A detailed projected revenue per revenue stream is as per attached, which is annexure number 2. Honorable members, as I conclude, in the preparation of the 2024-2025 financial year county finance bill, there were some key considerations that were made in coming up with the levies, charges, and fees in the draft finance bill as follows. Number 1, considering that the total amount of revenue raised is consistent with the approved fiscal framework in the county fiscal strategy paper, which is the CFS3 2024. Number 2, taking into account the principles of equity and ease of collection. Number 3, considering public raising demand to have good infrastructure and services. Number 4, considering the impact of the proposed charges on development, investment, and business growth. The Finance Bill 2024 was subjected to public participation on 11th and 12th September 2024 and was approved by the County Executive Committee on 26th September 2024. The County Government of Nyandarua Receipt of Revenue was submitted to this House on September 27, 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, I hereby submit the same for County Assembly approval. Sincerely, Mary Kamande.
Thank you, Madam CC. Having tabled the document for proper conveyance to the House, you can take your seat. So, honorable members, join me in applauding County Executive Committee Member for Finance, Economic Planning and ICT for her inaugural pronouncements to this Assembly. My office expects that the County Assembly will take the shortest time possible to approve the plan once it shall be tabled, following various steps of consideration, including public participation, stakeholders, engagement, and consultations. In the meantime, allow me to convey a message of goodwill to the Governor and the entire county executives as they continue serving the people of Nyandarua. Once again, I reiterate the County Assembly's unwavering commitment and availability in supporting the entire county government in service delivery and development for the people of Nyandarua. As I now direct the Sergeant at Arms to escort the County Executive Committee member for Finance, Economic Planning and ICT from the chambers, I cannot ignore the special request from Honorable Daniel Gitau Captain that he wished to also escort the CEC out of the chambers. Honorable Gitau, you can proceed as you are joined by Sergeant at Arms. I further direct that the Sergeant at Arms to the mace at the upper pedestal for further proceedings of the Assembly. Honorable members, the House has now resumed its sitting for the day. We now invite the chairperson of the Finance, Economic Planning and ICT Committee to introduce and table the Nyandarua County Finance Bill, that is 2024, and the pronouncement on the written revenue raising measures as pronounced by the County Executive Committee member for Finance, Economic Planning and ICT.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Yes, Honorable Kingori.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm just raising on a point of order related to the pronouncement that has been just finance and economic planning. Honorable Speaker, now we are heading back to the usual business of this House to evaluate, scrutinize that statement, Honorable Speaker, together with the other documents. My prayer, as you give the direction as the chair of the chamber, is that most of the time we normally hear what the Finance and Economic Planning CC member pronounce uninterrupted in silence. But then, Honorable Speaker, members have a chance to scrutinize the report, but then nothing much is being done. My humble request and submission to you as the chair is that you allow the members to go through the report and the statement, and then before we go to the public participation at the committee level, where we are now going to engage the members of the public as we come back here to come with a report for approval by this honorable House, with or without an amendment. I would request you that you give further direction that we have a committee of general oversight in relation to what the CC member have just said. Then From there, Honorable Speaker, we will now go to the next. Honorable Speaker, we have weighty issues that have been discussed by the CC member from that statement that has taken, but still require more intervention in where, Honorable Speaker, the members of this House and the CC member and the executive will be able now, Honorable Speaker, have a chance, Honorable Speaker, to look upon the statement and the nitty-gritties in it. In the morning, we had a good chance in engaging the county attorney, and most of the main issues that have been happening in this county, we tried as much, Honorable Speaker, to answer the questions. The same case, if you need the Honorable Speaker, you'll be able to meet at this level. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kingori. Your submissions are well noted by the chair, and I'll give comprehensive direction in regard to the same in a while.
Clarification also.
Yes, Honorable Milka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is in addition to what Honorable Kingori has said, that the Finance Bill 2024-2025 has raised a lot of issues, and especially on the ground, and there are areas where public participation didn't happen, and there are also pronouncement by the governor. So as I join my colleague, is just to give direction whether we need to really interrogate this document to see whether whatever was said has been captured in the document, so that we have a discussion. Because there are several pronouncements that have been made, public participation, I don't know whether it has been included in that report, so that if we given time to interrogate the document, it will be better for us. Thank you.
Thank you. I reiterate. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to attach myself to the sentiments and also ask, Mr. Speaker, that we are talking of the Nyandarua County Finance Bill 2024. What was taken to the ground was a different bill to what was brought here. And there are pronouncements saying that this bill that was brought here was the 2022-23 finance bill. So is it even admissible that this is not what was taken to the people? This is a completely new document that is being introduced in the whole setup of the financial process at the assembly level.
Thank you, Honorable Mohindi. We will mark the three sentiments, and we'll be giving direction in regard to the same. In the meanwhile, Honorable Chair, Finance, you can proceed with that.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, before I proceed to the dispatch table for tabling of the finance bill and the pronouncements, it is good or prudent, for I don't want to, or I don't intend as if I'm giving any response towards the same. But what I would wish to comment is that it is in the public domain, but the members of the public demanded that the 2023 finance bill, which had no contention, Honorable Speaker, that they are ready and willing to go by it, notwithstanding the changes that were made during public participation, and that is why the city document has been tabled today, and it will be taken through the entire process of validation, so that now all any other issue that might arise, together with confirming that indeed this is what they want, will be confirmed. And to that effect, Honorable Speaker, allow me now, pursuant to Standing Order 166, subsection 6, as read together with Standing Order 125, I beg to introduce the Nyandarua County Finance Bill, that is 2024, and table the pronouncement of the 11 leasing measures, and request that the bill be now read for the first time. And I do table both of them with the clerk.
Thank you, Honorable Zakarinjero.
through the chair. Honorable Speaker.
Yes, maybe just a minute, Honorable Kashomba. The bill is duly introduced together with the revenue raising measures as submitted by the county executive member for finance, economic planning, and ICT. Therefore, I direct the clerk to read the bill for the first time.
This is Kenya Gazette Supplement number 14, Nyandarua County Bills number 8, being the Nyandarua County Finance Bill 2024, a bill for an act of the County Assembly of Nyandarua to provide for various taxes, fees, cess, licenses, charges for services, and for other revenue raising measures by the county government for the financial year 2024-2025 and for matters incidental thereto.
Thank you. The bill having been read for the first time, I now refer the same together with the pronouncement to the Committee on Finance, Economic Planning and ICT for consideration in accordance with the standing orders. Maybe Chairperson, how much time do you need?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Before then, I wish to associate myself with my able members of the committee, that is Honorable Mohede and Honorable Edna Duabogo. And ordinarily, the bill was supposed to have been processed by this House by September. So, arising from the workload and the urgency of this bill, 60 days, Honorable Speaker, will be sufficient so that we take it through a very thorough public participation and be in a position to engage a whole House as it was requested, whether a committee on general oversight or we subject it at the committee of the whole in such a setting, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Be it on a record that the same shall be tabled before the House or not before the indicated timelines. Honorable members, due to the sensitivity of the matters contained therein and the times that we are in, I urge the committee to conduct thorough and conclusive public participation, stakeholder participation, and proper legal, fiscal, and economic consultation before bringing a report before the House, while also ensuring that the sentiments of the public are properly addressed. My office and the office of the clerk shall facilitate the committees accordingly. Maybe you can have Honorable Kashomba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hope, Speaker, you have guided on what is supposed to be done in the finance bill. Because I believe this is the bill that will be introduced, has already been introduced, tabled. And because it will be introduced as a bill in this Honorable House, and it is gone through by the members of the County Assembly and the Finance Committee, I believe, Mr. Speaker, it will be a document that will be able to serve as one of the bills that will be able to empower the governor to get out and get some revenues. So, Mr. Speaker, we need to understand and agree that when this document is taken over to our people, the stakeholders, let the stakeholders take into consideration and other opinion leaders what it entails in this finance bill. Because you remember the last finance bill that was forwarded by this Honorable House, it brought a lot of problems within our stakeholders and our business community. We don't want to engage our people with the county government in court battles. Let our people get to understand the finance bill. Even if some border shed, border with a rider, even if 100 or 200 sharing, let us agree with those stakeholders. There are people. We cannot sit here and allow our county government to lose finances. Mr. Speaker, it's not right. So I'm appealing that the Committee on Finance, when they get out for the public participation, to get opinion from our stakeholders, let's try to understand it is our people and we need to engage them in all matters that pertain to this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kashomba. Yes, Honorable Matimu.
Mr. Speaker, sir, mine is
just two issues. I would wish to humbly request that the clerkship would help us get this particular document so that we can be able to peruse through it and look at the various issues in it. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would humbly request that we look at this document with a toothpick. But, Mr. Speaker, sir, we shall not have the blame game that was there previously, whereby the members of the public were being told that the document before you was passed by this Honorable House, so it is the members of the County Assembly of Nyandarua who increased the various rates that were in that finance bill, Mr. Speaker, sir. I would humbly request that we take time, we look at it, and I really thank the Chair of Finance. He has requested for ample time, so we can be able to look at the whole document and ensure that it serves our people. And I support Honorable Kashomba that let's have a document and let's have rates that are friendly to our people, that our people will be comfortable paying, considering the hard times that we are facing. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, honorable members. And once again, I reiterate my earlier directions, which associate themselves with the sentiments of Honorable Kashomba and Honorable Matimo, that due to the sensitivity of the matters contained therein and the times that we are in, I urge the committee to conduct thorough and conclusive public participation, stakeholders' participation, and proper legal, fiscal, and economic consultation before bringing a report before the House, while also ensuring that the sentiments of the public are properly addressed. Once again, my office and the office of the clerk shall facilitate the committee accordingly. Clerk, next order.
Mr. Speaker, we have exhausted the business that was scheduled to be transacted during this sitting.
Honorable members, in regard to what Honorable Kingori had raised, I will give Honorable Kingori, Honorable Buhinde, and Honorable Milka had raised. I'll give directions on Tuesday, the 12th day of November, that is 2024. There being no other business to transact under this sitting, I now adjourn the House to Tuesday, the 12th day of November, 2024 at 9:30 a.m.